Recording in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to EHCTV. I'm Khalil King.
And I'm Will Sadell. Welcome back to this week's show.
Now, Will,
what's up?
I hate to outdo you again, brother, but
you can never outdo me.
Looks like I brought the better interview yet again. You gotta step the game up, bro.
No. Listen here, man. Who is your interview anyway?
My interview is Joseph Johnson, the most zealous student senator on campus.
I'll give you that. He's probably the most passionate senator. Okay, I'll give you that. But
who'd you bring?
I brung the one, the only Thomas Forrester. And let me tell you something. He's got the softball program on the rise, dog.
Oh, you're getting a little close to
NCAA tournament 2 years ago, national recognition last year. Let me tell you something. He's the best, dog. He's the best.
Okay.
Get out of here.
Okay. We'll see. We'll now swing it over to Cam Durr with this week's news update.
I'm Cam Durr with this week's news update. Provost John Wells and President Schrum met with members of the Alumni Association to discuss current budget goals to be met by June 30th, 2019, as well as planning ahead for the next 3 years. This past Saturday, high school seniors attended the Blue and Gold Scholarship Day, where they interviewed and auditioned for scholarships in art, cheer and dance, civic leader scholars, equine, rugby, outdoor adventure, STEM, theater, and pre-health. Coming up on Wednesday, the athletics department is hosting Faculty and Staff Appreciation Night during the basketball doubleheader. Employees and their families are welcome to food and drinks from 5:30 to 8:30 in the Porterfield Lounge in the King Center. The McLaughlin Center for the Arts is hosting a number of events, including guest artist Helen Otterson. State Fair, a musical put on by the ENH Theater Department, begins February 21st to the 24th. Performing artist Nicholas Fan and the Jasper Quartet will play and perform on March 22nd. All events are free for faculty and students and will count as a Lyceum credit. Could you be the next WASP? ENH is looking for the next WASP mascot to represent our school. Those looking to participate should be physically fit with a strong interest in the performance or entertainment industry. For more information or to apply, go to ENH Connects. That's all for this week's news. I'm Cam Durr.
Hello and welcome to this week's news interview. I'm Khalil King, and today we have with us, as I mentioned earlier, the most zealous SGA member, Joseph Johnson. Joseph, welcome to the set.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. Joseph, this is your
my third year in the Student Senate.
And third year at Emory. Can you talk about how you got started with SGA?
Well, I got started with SGA my freshman year. I ran against B.G. Loper, who ran an excellent campaign. I really thank him for giving me a run for my money.
You beat B.G. Loper?
B.G. Loper. I beat B.G. Loper my freshman year in Stewart. The
audacity.
The audacity, yes. What the hell was I about to say?
How'd you get involved? How'd you get involved?
I beat B.G. Loper. I went on a, so what I did was I wanted to help students like be more involved in the affairs, and I wanted to help and make sure that Emory-Henry is a great campus for everyone who calls it home. And I think that I've really been trying to do that since I've been involved.
Yeah, I remember that now that you say that. I was living in Stewart, and you were trying to get myself and all the upperclassmen to go ahead and vote for you. So that was awesome. And
I went door to door. I hit every door in Stewart, I think, twice.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you. That was my freshman year.
Yeah. Now that you've been here 3 years, what's something that you're working on? Like, what are your main goals for this semester?
So what I'm working on this semester is I really want to improve the lines of communication between the Senate and the people of Emory. I think that the Senate has long had some issues with communicating with Emory-Henry's student body. Mm-hmm. And I think that what we can do is I really want to look at hosting a town hall for constituents to just come and ask me questions about policy and what we're trying to achieve in student government. Obviously, with the change of the shake in leadership, we're kind of working on setting up new there's going to be new ideas brought to the floor. So I'm not sure exactly what the the executive will be putting forward at this time. But I think that definitely something I'm working on is making sure when the executive starts bringing forward ideas, we have lines of communication open to the public so we can hear the concerns of the public on those ideas.
Definitely. Now, why do you think this is important for the students to come out and do this?
Well, I think it's really important because students need to be more involved. Like, there's a lot of complaints that I hear on campus. People complain about everything, and I think that if you complain about something, you got to fix it. You got to work to fix it. And so, you know, I'm doing the work in student government, and you guys can do the work too. Making sure that, you know, your voices are heard. My door's always open to that.
Amazing. I'm sure they're going to appreciate that. We just had a recent transition of SGA leadership. Talk about the new administration and what we're trying to accomplish.
Well, I think that I do not ordain to speak for the president or the vice president.
Of course.
But I think that they are largely trying to accomplish, you know, Landy said pretty clearly that what she's trying to accomplish is the agenda hasn't changed. And I think that what we're trying to accomplish is the same thing the old executive was trying to accomplish. And I think largely what we're seeing now is the Senate is rolling up its sleeves and getting the work done. And I think that's really powerful, and I'm excited to see that. I think one of the other things I'm super excited to see this term is we're getting some new members on Wednesday, I've heard. And I think that that hopefully, you know, bringing in some new people, bringing in some fresh ideas will really help invigorate the student government.
Yeah, definitely, especially with the lack of, you know, attendance and all of that. It's going to be
we have
really
had our
nice to have
issues
them.
with our attendance for some senators. Yeah.
Yeah, and finally, I want to ask, as I mentioned, I think you are one of the best SGA senators I've seen thus far. So zealous, so well versed in the Robert's Rule of Order. How did you get so passionate about this?
Well, I think that how did I get passionate about this? I've always been interested in government. I really love Emory. I came to Emory thanks to Jake Schrum and a lot of other people that I knew through my hometown. And I fell in love with this campus when I visited, and I really wanted to work to make it a better place. And so I just love Emory and love this campus and love the work that we do, and I love the politics. I'm a political science major, so that's my passion is Emory.
Awesome. That's something we have in common, and I do want to thank you for all the work that you've been pouring into this campus and especially into SGA.
Well, thank you so
Joseph.
much.
Best of luck with that town hall meeting.
Yeah, I'll try.
Yes, definitely. And thank you all for watching. I will now swing it over to Luke Montalbano with this week's sports update.
Hello, I'm Luke Montalbano bringing you this week's sports update. Our top story, the New England Patriots are Super Bowl champions yet again as they defeat the Los Angeles Rams 13-3 in the lowest scoring Super Bowl of all time. New England wide receiver Julian Edelman earned the Super Bowl MVP, receiving for 141 yards. This is the Patriots' 6th ring since 2001. Moving on to the hardwood, the Emory and Henry men's basketball team traveled to Harrisonburg and beat the Royals of Eastern Mennonite 85-75. Junior Daniel Spencer led the way with 33 points. The Wasps have now won 6 games in a row and will host Randolph College this Wednesday. The women's team had 2 games this weekend and they earned 2 wins. The Wasps beat Eastern Mennonite on Saturday 81-53 and Averett University on Sunday 87-52. They are currently on a 7-game winning streak, 18-3 overall record, and 11-3 in ODAC play, and will host Roanoke College tomorrow night. And finally, finishing up in the swimming pool, the men's and women's swimming team both hosted their last meets of the season last Saturday as they beat both LaGrange University and William Peace University. The Wasps will travel to Greensboro on February the 15th to compete in the ODAC Championships. That'll do it for this week's Sports Update. I'm Luke Montalbano. Have a great day, Emory. Let's now throw it over to Will Seidel for this week's sports interview.
2 years ago, the Emory and Henry women's softball team went to the NCAA tournament. Last year, they received national recognition in the top 25 polls. This year, can they take the next step? That is the question. With me today to talk about this is the head coach of the women's softball team, Coach Tommy Forrester. Coach, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having us on.
So, Coach, what got you here to Emory and Henry first off? Like, how did you come to Emory and Henry?
Like as a coach or as a student?
Both, I guess.
Okay.
That's right, because you did come to Emory here as a student. I forgot about that, yeah.
So I'm an alum, and so I came in 2000 as a freshman in college, and Chose Emory and Henry because of a lot of the same reasons why our current students have. You know, beautiful campus. Wanted a chance to compete. I was a baseball player here, and just loved the family atmosphere, the people here. Just grabbed a hold of me, and it's where I wanted to go to college. So that's one of those feelings when I was doing my college tours. I just, you know, had a really good feeling about this place. And so I've always had a love for Emory and Henry since my days as a student. Went down, coached and taught in South Carolina for a couple of years, came back, was at Sullivan East in Bluff City, Tennessee for a few years. The job came open, softball position, I applied and they hired me and I got to come back home.
Absolutely. And Coach, you've obviously built the program into a very, very respectable program. And, you know, talk about the success 2 years ago. Y'all went to the NCAA tournament. Y'all fell one game short of the eventual defending national champion, Virginia Wesleyan Marlins. And y'all had a good run in the tournament. Can you explain how that season went and how that just built momentum into where the program is now?
Right. Well, everything's, you know, I have my part in the program, but every single player that plays for us has their part. Every alumni has their part. Our administration, our bus drivers, our custodians. So this program is about everybody doing their role and doing their role well.
Absolutely.
And so we've been fortunate to recruit some awesome people first, and then they happen to be good softball players too. But it's people who believe in what we believe in. We make it very clear during the recruiting process who we are as a program, what we stand for. And for us, it's so much more than just wins and losses. You know, like, who doesn't want to win? Like,
Absolutely.
we want to win. But we want to be a light on this campus. We want to be an example on this campus. And so we want people here who are about what we're about. And so we believe that if we conduct ourselves like champions do and as winners do in all phases of our life, the winning will take care of itself. So that's been our philosophy. Our players have bought into it, and we've had some success.
Absolutely. And Coach, last year, you know, y'all had some votes for the top 25 in the country. You know, how exciting.
We actually got top.
Y'all actually, y'all actually did. I was about to get there. I was about to get there. So how exciting was that as a coach, you know, just to see a number right beside Emory and Henry College softball?
Right. It's always cool when your program can do things that have never been done before. So that was, you know, it was cool to see that. But again, it's not, we're not playing for a ranking, but some of those things are just confirmation that you're doing things the right way. You know, and so that's how we see it. So when we get the ranking this year, it won't be that we're not changing anything that we do because we want to keep doing the things that led us to that success. But anytime you get that big win, you get that championship trophy, you get that ranking, like, that's just confirmation, hey, you're doing things good. You know, it's going well for you.
Absolutely, Coach. And, you know, season's about to get underway this Saturday.
Can't wait.
I bet you just cannot wait to get the season started. So what's the preparation like? How's the off season been for y'all?
I've been super impressed with the women on our team, and when they came and reported to practice on day one this preseason, they were ready. You know, they were physically ready, they were mentally ready, they were emotionally ready to go attack this season. So that's one place where I've seen growth, is that we're not coming. You know, they want to practice. It's not. I don't have to try to get them in shape. I don't have to get a bat back in their hands. Like, they've been doing that stuff. So we just get to expand on those skills. So it's been a really good preseason. We performed really well. We had a great fall. We've done well so far in the preseason, and we're ready to play somebody else.
Absolutely. And Coach, that conference is tough. The ODAC conference of softball is really tough. Obviously, Virginia Wesleyan, Randolph-Macon, Lynchburg. So how challenging it as a coach, not only just probably recruiting-wise, but, you know, competing with these teams on and off the field in the ODAC. How challenging is that as a coach?
It's the best thing in the world.
Best thing in the world.
So, I mean, we want to be a part of the best conference in the nation, and we believe that the ODAC is the best conference in the nation. And that's not just ODAC coaches saying that or ODAC players saying that. That's other conferences who play our teams. They're saying that. They're like, wow, like, how good is this conference? When, you know, the eighth best team in our league is going out and beating the best teams in other conferences because they're the better team. You know, so we love the fact that that we have such a strong conference. It makes us better. And we knew that as soon as we're contending for championships in our conference, now we're on that national level. If we were in a different conference, we have to say, all right, we got to get to the top of our conference, then we'll start looking at the national scene. As soon as we're competing with Virginia Wesleyan, Randolph-Macon, Lynchburg, those top teams, we knew, like, now we're automatically getting that top 25 ranking. So we're seen on the national scene just by being top of our conference. So It's great. And in recruiting, it's great. because Division III, some people, how good is the competition? Well, when they say, well, you're going to be playing in the best conference in the nation, like you have a chance to win a national championship, they're like, okay, like that's going to be good softball. So it helps in recruiting to play in such a good league.
Now, how tough is it as a coach getting your players ready for the season? Because obviously, where preseason's so long and then fall season, how tough is it to get everybody with the same mindset as the season comes out here?
I think that we want to recruit right, and we want to recruit the right people, and so we have the right people on our team, and they prepare themselves. So we're ready. Some things we do as coaches is we want to do different things. So we might go in a classroom and focus on the mental thing one day. We might be focused on offense the next day. We might be focused on defense the next day. So that we're not just doing the exact same thing every single day. But for the most part, we challenge our team. We tell them what we expect, and they get themselves ready. So we don't have an issue getting them ready. They get themselves ready, really.
Now, this offseason, has there been any player that's really stood out to you that's took a next step fundamentally as a player? Has there anybody that's just stood out to you, or have you seen a lot of improvement in everybody?
Well, I think
that's a tough question. I know,
that's a
because
really
you don't want to call out everybody, but
Right. I'm not gonna on this interview single out one girl, because I truly do believe that we have made more improvement this offseason as a group than any other year I've coached. And that's something, it's funny you kind of asked me that question to lead to that answer, because that's something I've had closed door conversation with my assistants, is like, we really, the improvement that we made from last game this year to where we are today has been really, really, at a high level across the board. Not just one player has really worked hard this offseason, not just two players, but we are better. Almost everybody on our team that was on the roster last year is better. And that's because of the offseason and work they put in. So that's exciting to see them just buy in and put in that work.
Absolutely. And Coach, you had a player, a freshman, our very own Cam Durr, hit some big-time spotlights. How big has Cam been? Obviously, she's behind Tiffany Cole in the pitching rotation. Right. How big was it getting a player like Cam Durr here at Emory-Henry?
Yeah. Cam's awesome. She killed that interview a minute ago.
She endorsed you, too, on my interview with Khalil.
So she is not just, she's not just doing great things on the field, but, I believe fully that we're going to see her doing big things on ESPN or wherever she wants to be one day, on the sidelines and all that kind of great stuff. She's awesome. Obviously, her talent on the field is unbelievable. She, throws really hard, throws a great rise ball, throws a great cut rise ball. So some people don't even know she's throwing two different up pitches, the one that's coming into hitters, one that's just coming up. We've been practicing on a lot of things to get her even better so she can throw that at different locations. And yeah, she's phenomenal, big-time pickup for us, big-time recruit, and we're really glad she's a Wasp.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, thank you so much for coming on here. Best of luck this Saturday, and, let's get that win. Let's start the season off right.
All right.
Thank you, Coach.
Stingers up.
Absolutely. And we will send it over to this week's rant. Thank you.
Like I told you I was going to have the better rent, and
actually, I think Coach Forrester knocked it out of the park, buddy.
I think he did. I told him I appreciate that Stingers up. He's an awesome coach. He's really invested in the program.
Coach Forrester, not only is he a great coach, man, he is a fantastic human. He's a fantastic person. I love him as our softball coach. But I gotta be fair to you, man.
Gotta be
Joseph
fair.
Johnson, man, he's probably one of the best senators here on campus. I definitely, and we're on the SGA. You know,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
senators too, so we
So
see
we know
we
what's
see
going
the
on.
work Joseph does here,
Yeah.
and you know, Joseph, you know, he's a fantastic person. He cares about the community, cares about a lot of people, and
Yeah.
you know, I think that's what Joseph, you know. I think he's in the right spot. I think he's in the right
Yeah.
business. What he
He's
wants to do
also
in his life.
really, really smart as the approach he takes in there. He
I
can be on
think-
one
I agree.
side
I
and he
agree.
knows how to maneuver into another lane, but he's a keen individual, and I'm glad I got to get him on set.
He's got a great personality to talk to, so absolutely.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I still think I won with the interview. I'm just going to be fair to you,
Okay.
but I won.
We'll let the audience
won.
decide that. We'll let them decide
Cam
that.
thinks I won, so I won. Fair square.
Oh,
I
well, if
won.
Cam says that, then you got it.
That's right, I won. Knocked it out of the park. All right.
Well, that's all we have for you this week. I'm Khalil King.
And I'm Will Seidel. We will see you next week.
Stingers up.